Welcome to our first ever White House State Dinner for Teachers of the Year. It's such an honor to be here with the First Lady.
Thank you.
The second gentleman, Secretary Becerra, Secretary Buttigieg, and many distinguished members of Congress. Representative Mark Takano, Representative Susie Lee, Representative Frederica Wilson, and Representative Chrissy Houlihan. Thank you for being here. And a special thank you to the leadership of the Council of Chief State School Officers, the American Federation of Teachers, and the National Education Association for being here. Thank you. Now traditionally, when the White House has hosted a state dinner, it has been reserved for kings and queens, for presidents and prime ministers. It's a sign of respect for the most important leaders and the immense impact that they have on the people they represent. So in hosting a state dinner for teachers, the president and his administration is honoring our teachers with a level of national respect that is long I didn't get to finish, and I want to, because it's a level of national respect that is long overdue. Yes. Look, we're recognizing that teachers change lives and even save lives with a collective impact comparable to the leaders who have been honored in this room. There is no American dream without American teachers. Yep. You know this. No profession does more to shape the potential of our society and the future of our nation. So thank you for all you do. And congratulations to our state Teachers of the Year and our National Teacher of the Year, Missy. I remember when I called Missy, when she learned, it was a bit of a surprise. And I said, you know what, Missy, your year's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little different. But I told her, and I told all of you earlier today, you are what our country needs right now. You are what our country needs right now, and you are the face of the best profession in this country. So congratulations to Missy and to all of you. When I was finishing my time as a student teacher back in the 1900s, a veteran teacher pulled me aside. I'll never forget this. Rindy Hardy. She said, "Miguel, you're going into this profession. Never forget, you teach kids, not curriculum." And that stayed with me. That stayed with me. Those words have always stuck with me because at the end of the day, education comes down to the teacher and the impact they have on their students. It doesn't matter how great your curriculum is if you're not supporting great teachers in doing what they know works for their kids. And as a lifelong teacher, I'm proud and humbled to work for a president and an administration that puts the voices of teachers front and center in education where it belongs. You know, a lot A lot of people profess to be an education leader, but our president walks the walk. While some try to defund public education, he's out there defending public education. And I'm especially proud that we have someone in the White House who's a teacher herself. A teacher herself, our great First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden. Now, let me tell you, she gets it. In public and behind the scenes, she's a powerful champion for our nation's educators. It's really my privilege of a lifetime to be able to work with her. And now it's my privilege to introduce her to you tonight. Let's give it up for our First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden.
Thank you, Secretary Cardona. Miguel, Joe, and I are so grateful for your work. Where did you go? Oh, there you are. So, when you're around, it's hard not to feel excited for our future. You know that education can change lives, and you're fighting every day for our students and their educators. Thank you. And second gentleman, Emhop. Doug, where are you? Oh, there he is over here. So isn't he the best second gentleman ever? And I'm so glad, you might not know this, but he is a fellow teacher. And Secretaries Becerra and Buttigieg, Carolina, Chasten, thank you, and other administration officials here for taking the time to be with us tonight. And we have so many incredible members of Congress joining us who have come out of the classroom or worked in education. So I'm grateful to have you all here, and we're grateful for all your work to support our educators. So, welcome to the White House. And the first ever Teachers of the Year State Dinner. Tonight we celebrate you, because teaching isn't just a job, it's a calling. And all of you were called to this profession for a reason. You believe that a better world is possible, and you make that world real. And none of that could happen without the support of our unions. So as you sit here tonight, you don't just represent yourselves, you represent your entire communities, parents, students, and educators who thought you were the best of them, and they selected you. And none of that could happen without our unions and our members. So Randy and Becky, thank you for always showing up for your members. You guys should stand, really. We are so grateful for your leadership. And to CCSSO leaders here, we couldn't do this without you. You are our treasured partners, and CCSO worked with your principals to present you with a gift from home The surprise that was at each of your seats. Did y'all get it? Yes. Oh, good. Okay. So as I've traveled, I have a little bit of laryngitis, sorry. As I've traveled the country as your First Lady, it's been my honor to meet so many incredible educators in classrooms and student centers and libraries. Teachers who redid their lesson plans overnight during the pandemic and came to the rescue as students faced a crisis like never before. Teachers who support our military kids as they start over in their newest school. Because, you know, the average military kid changes schools between 6 and 9 times before they graduate high school. Teachers who are helping students find career paths that will change their lives, leading dual enrollment courses and providing hands-on learning in science labs and carpentry classrooms so students can take that first step forward to a career they love. I always knew that, now I get emotional, that Joe would be the best education president. And he delivered on his promises. An amazing Secretary of Education who comes out of the public school classroom. And following a devastating pandemic, he reopened our schools safely and quickly, making historic investments in public schools to support our teachers, the academic and mental health needs of students, community schools, and career and technical education. He fixed student loan relief for public servants. And he's fighting to make sure educators are paid what they're worth. Since Joe took office, 30 states and D.C. have increased teacher pay. To answer this call of service is in itself an act of hope. You look at your students and don't just see who they are today. You see all the possibility of tomorrow. You help them find that light within themselves. And that light lives on in all of you. Tonight, as I look out at the glow of all these candles, you all shine so brightly. This room represents potential, the glittering hope ahead, what we give to the next generation. When I was a little girl, my grandmother would take me to school with her, and it was a one-room schoolhouse in a small town in South Jersey. She loved her work, and her students loved her in return. And she used to call her students to class with a big brass bell. Yes, it was that long ago. So when she died, she didn't leave behind a giant estate. But what I inherited from her, what I still have that till today, is that bell. And sometimes I think about the way her legacy resonated into the world like, waves of sound, changing those who heard its ring. I think of every student she taught and wonder, what amazing things they grew up to do. Perhaps they are public servants, working to make our communities a little stronger or a little fairer. Perhaps they are doctors saving lives, or architects building cities, or scientists working to solve our global challenges. And of course, there's at least one teacher. Today, all of you ring your own bell, pulling each person you teach into a harmony that never ends. Right now, someone out there is a better thinker because of you. Someone is standing a little taller because you helped her find the confidence that she needed. Someone is working a little harder because you pushed him to try. Someone is kinder because you showed her what that meant. And someone is braver because you showed them to find their courage. Never stop ringing that bell. Never forget that student by student, the lives you change go on to change the world. So let's raise a glass to you. Cheers to all of you. Cheers. So, nestled among Smoky Mountain peaks and rolling hills sits Rogersville City School. And at that school, in a classroom lined with pictures of her students, there's a teacher like no other, Missy Testerman. For the last 31 years, she has supported students there, not just as learners, but as members of the community. When their families needed help going to the bank, guess what? She takes them. When students need to learn how to make a phone call, she teaches them. When the plumbing was making the entire school smell, she brought educators and the community members together to get it fixed. And years ago, when she realized students weren't performing well academically, despite incredible teachers who were trying each day, she turned the first 6 weeks of school into Boot Camp Academy, where students learn how to understand questions and expectations so they can learn how to learn. And her students thrived. She recruited colleagues, and suddenly everyone was doing Boot Camp Academy, and students soared. So I'm honored to have Missy representing our profession. As her students say, she makes everyone feel important. She helps us feel more welcome. She made sure that I was taken care of. She makes me smile all the time. She's the best. Please welcome your National Teacher of the Year, Missy Testerman.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Jill Biden, for hosting this historic state dinner and welcoming all of us into the White House, a symbol of this great country and the freedom it represents. On behalf of the 2024 cohort of the State Teachers of the Year, I can say that being here tonight is an honor. Thank you to Secretary Cardona, CCSSO, and to my Tennessee delegation. Thank you especially to the 2024 State Teachers of the Year cohort, a compilation of resolute, fierce, energetic educators who invest in the lives of students each and every day. Even on late nights and weekends, they accompany students to band competitions, sporting events, and various activities. They are helping to prepare our nation's children for careers and living as productive citizens by exposing them to experiences outside of the classroom. A very special thank you to my Rogersville City School students, staff, and families at home. Thank you especially to my family who made multiple sacrifices to be here this week with me. While most people in Rogersville, Tennessee know me as Mrs. Testerman from RCS, my greatest title will always be being David's wife and Andrew and Caroline's mom. As an English as a second language teacher, my students are all either immigrants to our country or first-generation Americans having been born to immigrant parents. Hearing the experiences of my students and their families reminds me daily what a privilege it is to be an American and what a privilege it is to attend a public school in this country. My students' families remind me why we all persevere in the face of real challenges, for the opportunities, the freedom, the boundless experiences we deserve. I often wish that I could create my own dream school, one where every child feels welcome, loved, and allowed to flourish. A school where every teacher sees the potential in each and every student, even when those students do not see their own abilities. This school would be well funded. Modern and well stocked with the resources that teachers and students need. Sadly, that dream can sometimes feel like a fantasy, and our reality often feels heavy due to the struggles that we watch our students endure. But in real life, we not only teach our students, we wrap our arms around them, advocate for them, help them feel secure, and help them create a better future for themselves. Teachers are the ultimate facilitators of justice, fairness, equity, and democracy. No profession in American history is as pivotal as ours. We make democracy possible, both by educating the generation in front of us, but we also make all professions, every single one of them, possible. We hold the future of the country in our hands, just as every generation of teachers before us has done. It is a charge that we take seriously, and we will deliver just as legions of teachers before us have. We love our students, and what makes us so powerful as educators is that we have the capability to love and to, at the same time, to hold them to high academic expectations so that each student reaches his or her greatest proficiency. For this reason, our profession is the most important because, again, we create every profession. The advocacy of every school's teachers, coupled with rigorous academic expectations, has enabled countless numbers of students to reach their full potential, often breaking cycles of poverty and other barriers. There are doctors, nurses, lawyers, architects, pilots, and more sitting in our classrooms every single day. They may be second graders who still need help tying their shoes. Or maybe they are seventh graders struggling with the stresses of adolescence. But one day, they'll heal people from illness, fly planes, drive buses, transport goods. Or maybe they'll be just like us, and they'll teach the next generation. My friends, we do not live in a dream world, but we can make our students' and families' dreams come true by using our voices to advocate for those whose voices are weak or silenced. That is our legacy, and the best is yet to come. Please join me. Thank you. Please join me in a toast to our gracious hostess.
No, thank you.
We are blessed to have an educator in the White House who has chosen to put teachers and students on the national stage in this manner. Cheers to Dr. Jill Biden.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
That was it. I'll stick that back under here. Thank you.
Enjoy the dinner. Oh, yeah, you're sitting right next to me.
Why do you think I came? Does this work? It's not working. Hello. Is this working? I'm Jill Biden's husband. Please sit down. I'm going to be very brief. I just came back from North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina. The mayor of Wilmington, North Carolina, spent time living in Wilmington, Delaware. His daughter went to the University of Delaware. Anyway, look, I'll be very, very brief. First of all, I want to say how impressed I am with all that this woman does for the country and all. No, I mean it sincerely. But look, you all are the reason why we have hope about the future. I really mean it, not a joke. And I was down in North Carolina, in Charlotte and Wilmington, North Carolina, announcing a major multi-billion-dollar program to make sure we get all lead out of water in North Carolina and the entire country. And I was with a bunch of school teachers who they've discovered in Wilmington a significant amount of lead coming out of one of the fountains that was in one of the schools. And I met these 4 little kids who were in second grade come and, Mr. President, you got to do something. And we're going to do something. The point I want to make is that, the idea that we can't do more in education seems to me to be a ludicrous notion. How can we be the most powerful, most meaningful country in the world without having the best education system in the world? And teaching is not what you do, it's who you are. It's who you are. No, for real, I know that. Believe me, I know that. By the way, I actually taught for a number of years in law school, and then I was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. No, I don't got to applaud that. But all kidding aside, what I realize is how damn hard she works every day, and you all work every day. So, look, I just want to say I appreciate all you do. You're incredible. You are, as I've said before, I got criticized for it the first time I said it. You are the kite strings that lift our national ambitions aloft. Literally, not figuratively. You are the kite strings. You are the future. You provided for us. So I just came by to say thank you. I'm going to get the hell out of here. Thank you.